Hey everyone, Patrick Lee Scott here, and today is the last day of Funnel Hacking Live. I'm super pumped. I'm gonna see Tony Robbins later. Last year was huge for me listening to Tony Robbins. I had all these chains holding me back in my quest for being an entrepreneur. I've had a couple ventures as CTO and co-founder before, but for various reasons here and there, they didn't work out, or I wasn't really happy with them. So I feel like I kind of want to share the story of how I got really obsessed with all this marketing stuff in the first place. So to understand that, I have to go back to when I was 23, 24 years old, something like that, 25, I don't even know, time blurs together. But I had a startup when I was in my early 20s. It was called Plusmore, and I was the CTO. I started it with my friend Krish. And long story short, that company failed. We raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we just started building this product, and we spent so much time building a really awesome product. And as the CTO, I was let's get all these CSS animations and make it look real slick, and it's a web app but it feels like a mobile app. And this was 2012, so I was kind of crushing the CSS part of it and the JavaScript. And something that didn't work, though, the reason that we failed is because we spent so much time focusing on building this product but not marketing it. And there's a lie that we know from this popular movie, which is Field of Dreams, which is, if you build it, they will come. And the truth is, if you build it, they will not come. They don't care. Nobody knows about your greatness unless you're out there getting attention and showing people it. So after that company failed, I was like, wow, we really suck at marketing. And I need to figure out this marketing stuff if I'm ever gonna start a company, because without it, it just doesn't really matter what I build. So around that time, my friend Eric, he knew these two digital marketers. So I was like, well, I need to learn marketing, and they're hiring an engineer. They're hiring a software engineer. So I might as well go work for these marketers, and I can learn how to market. So that's what I did. I got a job with these engineers, with these marketers, and they wanted me to build something called a funnel. And I was like, that looks like a simple website, no problem. So they gave me PSDs, and I made them in HTML and CSS, and I threw in some React and GraphQL. It was just coming out at the time, so I was like, cool, I'll learn some new tech while I'm at it. And man, I was just blown away, because the product that I had just been working on was the company or the startup that I had just tried to start was 80% product. And this company was 80% marketing. And they were making over $1 million a year between two people. And I was just surprised that it worked, because it seemed so simple to me. But eventually I was like, wow, I need one of these things for myself. One of these funnel things. So turns out I knew how to build it, but there's a lot more that went into it that I didn't understand, such as what goes inside of it and how to get people actually to come to it and to use it. I had this huge epiphany moment while I was working for them, because they had no VC funding, and I remember one time we were in South Africa, working out of a mansion, like carved out of the side of the mountain with like infinity pools. There was like a boulder that went through the house, like into our room. And I just wanted to talk to the CEO and be like, how did you start this? Like, how did this happen? And so I asked him, and what he said just blew my mind, because what he said was, I just really like building systems. And me, the systems architect for like building trading platforms and like fancy technology, like all I did was think about systems. But it turns out I was focused on the wrong type of system. There are specifically systems that are designed and created for the sole purpose of attracting leads and converting them into customers. And those systems happen to be called funnels, which is why they really wanted someone to come in and make them for them, because they knew this. They knew that to grow their business, they needed systems that would bring in people, and they needed systems that would turn those people into customers. So again, I was like, wow, I need one of these for myself. Like, if they can do this, like, I should be able to do this too. And that began a multi-year journey. I worked with those digital marketers for about a year. I studied a whole bunch of digitalmarketer.com material. I learned about things called lead magnets and tripwires. And we did a lot of custom A/B testing and split testing and optimizing. But they were kind of at a point where the company was already started. And the CEO was writing all the copy. So those two parts were things like how they got that huge list of hundreds of thousands of people in the first place, and like how to actually write things and make content that people care about. You know, that was something that happened outside of what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I know how to make a funnel. I need to learn these other parts. So I started looking for people that could teach me that. And if you search how to build, like, making funnels online, you're going to come across Russell Brunson, because he is the category king of funnels. So I found Russell Brunson's books, Expert Secrets and .com Secrets, and like, they were like a playbook, you know. I was blown away. While this was happening, I had the opportunity to be CTO again. And it was a funded startup funded by Anheuser-Busch, InBev, the people who make Budweiser. And I was, again, offered the opportunity to be the CTO. And this time it was a machine learning startup. It was funded by their e-commerce division, and they wanted us to explore ways that we could use machine learning to make them more money. So that's what we did. And you know, I knew I was like, we need to focus on things that make money, like specifically, because I've done this before. I've done like just the product thing. So I remember like a few times even I had like these funnel ideas. I was like, let's make this funnel, or like, let's make that funnel. But like the CEO kind of poo-pooed them. And eventually like that product that we delivered, it was successful, but only a part of it, really just like a small subsection of what we made, and it wasn't really even what we intended to make. But it was merged back into the e-commerce division of Anheuser-Busch, and it was pretty cool. You know, I had a successful exit, which it was my dream until that point. Like, it's all I was like, I just want to get some successful exit, right? And I wasn't really happy with it though. It wasn't really freedom. It wasn't like working out of a mansion in Cape Town. Like, it was appeasing investors. And that's when I was like, man, we didn't really do the funnel thing, and I know, like, I've seen that make millions of dollars with no VC funding. Like, so what are these pieces that I'm missing? And that's when I decided to go even deeper. So I joined Russell Brunson's coaching program called the 2 Comma Club X, and the whole goal of that is to help you learn how to make 2 commas, hence the name. And that was about a year ago. And since then, I've gone super deep on storytelling and sales. I've learned enough about that to start creating really effective content. I won a Tech Writer of the Year award for Hacker Noon. I have people signing up for my list literally every day, just on autopilot now. Like, leads just come to me. And when I speak on the phone with them, and they're like, oh, I feel like I already know you now. So I figured out what to put inside of the funnels and the process of how to get people to actually come to them. And using these strategies, I launched a new course just about on Black Friday, about 2 months ago. And in a single weekend, testing an idea for a new product, before I ever built anything at all, I was able to make $8,000 profit because I had people voting with their wallets, right? And I gave, marketing is like allowing people to raise their hand, and sales is allowing people to shake your hand. So I focused on the marketing and sales systems first, just like the digital marketers I was working for, right? You see if it's worth paying for or worth actually building, because people will pay for it, and then you make it. So it's just been like a really transformational mindset shift for me. So I wanted to share that story of like how I got to where I am now and like why I'm super obsessed with this stuff. So I have 2 things to share with you. One, if you have a startup or a tech product, or even like you're an open source library and you want to know how you can actually like get people to pay for the cool stuff you do, I have a new course that I just launched. It's called Cloud Native Entrepreneur. And the whole purpose of this course is to use our engineering skills to build marketing and sales systems, to build the systems that are designed to make money. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, I have a link. I'll post it below. And next week we're gonna do a live presentation, and I'm gonna give you the first 3 lessons out of that course for free. And because what I want to do in those 3 lessons, so I want to show you that these systems exist and how they work. So that way you know that they exist and that they are something that you should be focusing your attention on. Because if you build it, they will come is a lie. You need to tell people about it, and you need to sell people. That's all I have for today. Expect a few more videos from me really soon. I've been challenged by Russell to make 4 live videos by the end of today. So here's number 1, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.